John Crawford and his girlfriend, Tasha Thomas, traveled to a Beaver Creek Walmart shortly after 8 p.m. on August 5, 2014. The two split at the Walmart, with John Crawford proceeding to pick up a BB gun that was lying on the counter. With the BB gun in hand, Crawford continued to walk around the Walmart. Ronald Ritchie called 911, reporting that he saw Crawford waving the gun around at kids and other people walking around the Walmart.
Sergeant David Darkow and Officer Sean Williams entered the Walmart after hearing the dispatch mention a subject with a gun. At the time, Crawford was in the bread section talking on the phone with Lacey Johnson, the mother of his two children. The police officers confronted Crawford, and Williams shot him in the torso and arm. He later died due to those gunshot wounds. Here's the surveillance video that Walmart released of John Crawford's shooting.
What's your name again, sir? My name is Ronald Ritchie. He just pointed at two children.
As you can see, John Crawford never pointed the gun at the children that were in the same aisle as him, despite what Ronald Ritchie said on his 911 call.
John Crawford, a 22-year-old black male with a toy gun in Walmart, was perceived as a major threat by Ronald Ritchie, a 24-year-old white male, whose 911 call then escalated the situation. We believe this case had much more to do with race than any rational assessment of threat that Crawford posed.
Many people think that it was Officer Sean Williams' fault for the death of John Crawford. Those people are wrong. The true source of these catastrophic chain of events was Ronald Ritchie, the 911 caller. Extreme racial bias on Ritchie's end exacerbated the situation, leading to a miscommunication with the dispatcher, who then unknowingly misinformed Officer Williams of the severity of the situation, which in turn then dictated Williams' actions.
On the call, Ritchie stated that Crawford was pointing the gun at people, specifically children. However, Ritchie later took back his statement, saying that Crawford was threatening people with the gun, supposedly after watching the surveillance video. From our perspective, Ritchie called 911 on John Crawford instead of talking to Walmart staff because John Crawford was African American. Ritchie saw Crawford pointing the toy gun at others in the store and immediately assumed Crawford meant to harm others.
Some argue with the fact that Williams is the only Beaver Creek officer to have an incident with a fatal shooting, meaning he must be prone to aggressive behavior. Although Williams looks to be racially biased and quick to jump to action based on the call, we must remember that officers have a protocol they must follow.
We must also take into account that in the past case dealing with Williams' fatal police shooting, the victim was white. This suggests that he is not racially biased, just quick to react.
Officers can only use enough force to complete an action that you are trying to achieve. So because Crawford had a gun and was supposedly waving it at people, Williams had the right to pull out his gun for his own protection.
Furthermore, this suggests that Williams' quick reaction in the incident with John Crawford was not due to his personal racial bias, but Ronald Ritchie's. Ritchie racially profiled Crawford and assumed the worst. Because of this assumption, he called the police and reported the situation that he over-exaggerated, creating a false threat. When dispatched to Williams, he took Ritchie's reporting as fact and entered into the situation expecting the worst. Williams immediately reverted to protocol based on what he saw and Ritchie's claims. Because of this, it is obvious that the true person in the wrong here is Ronald Ritchie, not Officer Williams.
As we learned in our interview with Captain Eric Grile of the Beaver Creek Police Department, officers are trained to take situations that involve physical encounters very seriously. When Williams and Darkow heard that there was a man threatening people with a gun, they had to make the worst assumption to ensure their safety, and the safety of the others in the store.
To conclude, Ronald Ritchie is the person at fault in the killing of John Crawford. Ritchie created a threatening situation after seeing John Crawford holding a toy gun because of Crawford's race. Ritchie's bias influenced the actions of Officer Sean Williams, a previously aggressive officer, who reacted to a situation based on his training and protocol.